All right, hello. Um, I'm on a video here. White Town, Your Woman, music video. The reason why I bring this up is this is boy. When I was doing the oh, hang on, let's back out of this so you can just see where we're at. The attempted assassination of Donald Trump, talking about that whole thing in the video, and I was just mentioned these roads here, at the location. And this what we've got going on is this sort of three converging roads, which is pretty interesting with the idea of a three paths crossing the United States, with the eclipses. And obviously, I don't know. What stood out for me was let's zoom into this. Was this White Town Road, and when I saw that, I just, in the back of my mind, I thought of White Town, of this song. I've looked at it before. I don't know if I've ever done a video on it. I might have done a video on it before. I'm not sure. I can't really remember, to be quite honest, but did know that it was really, really an interesting video, and if I hadn't done a video on it before, I wanted to. And I guess sometimes the opportunity presents itself, like right now. Um, so there's this connection with it, right? White Town and White Town Road. If we go to the actual, this is an image out of it as well, as you can see why it's interesting to me, with this idea of 9/4 coming up, or maybe the 18th of July coming up, and this rebirth from the dam here. Okay, there's the Christmas tree. Okay, the thing is 4 minutes 20 long. So we have that 24:42 reference. That 420 is a Pluto reference. To cut a long story short, there's yeah, back at Christmas time, I actually did a video talking about the orbital period of Pluto, and this idea of, because there was a lot of people going on about the start of the United States, Independence Day, through to Donald Trump's birthday this year was the completion of the Pluto cycle. Well, there's a different cycle that you can look at to do with the idea of the sun rather than the sidereal or sidereal cycle. You could look at the synodic cycle, and from that there was a different end date, and it was the Queen's birthday, 2023. If she'd still been alive, it would have been her birthday. Okay, 2023, and that was the end date there. And then there was 420 days between those two cycles, between the Queen and between Donald Trump. Okay, and that midpoint took us to the 17th of November between those two end date cycles, which was 17th of November last year, and which of course ties in with Mickey Mouse. Pluto tying in with Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse's birthday is the 18th of November. Okay, so anyway, so this 420, very interesting, and obviously we're in 2024 now, so that's really, really interesting as well. And of course, the double cross being 10 could have 10 10, and then the extra cross as well. We've got a 24 as well with X. So you've got those numbers with X, and we've got the double cross to the triple cross. It's all, I'm just whiffly waffling now, but anyway, we've got this imagery here. This is very poignant with the birth of the new sun. Okay, what I want to do is I'm just going to whip through the video real quick. I would highly recommend just going and watching it. I mean, if you're into this stuff, and you can kind of figure it out for yourself. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to whip through it because it's really, there's a lot to it. The last video I did, I started getting off on a tangent, whiffly waffling, and it ended up being a 40-something minute video, and it didn't need to be. Anyway, let me go to the start of this thing, and we'll go through it. Okay. anything else to note with the actual, if you go to the actual Wikipedia on this thing, note the 13th of January. Note how that's tying in with the 131, of course, from Madonna's birthday to Christmas. Okay, is 131 days. So we've got the Jesus and Mary connection there through Madonna and her birthday. We've also got, stick the 1 the other side, we've got 113. And again, this year, with our number jump to the 18th of July, 311. Okay, let's read that backwards. We've got the 311. So it's pretty, it is very, very interesting. It's going to become my catchphrase. It's very interesting. Anyway, let's go through the actual video and see if we can do it pretty quick. So this is actually about a cycle. Yeah, we've got the start and the finish line, and I think we're at the 12 o'clock hour on the clock tower. Very nice. And what we've got is basically this dude here is going to play the start guy here is actually the same dude that appears later on in the video, I think, but he's dressed up different. So this would be the metaphysical aspect of the self, okay, and we've got like the divine balanced version of that, and then the wants and desires here, yeah. So we've got the black pearl and the moon, I guess is the best way of putting it. The white pearl, the pearl, let's call it the pearl and the black pearl, that'd be easy. And so they're off, and immediately the wants and desires, you're going to notice this if I click through it. I'm going to try not to play it, but you'll know the song immediately. Immediately Black Pearl is taking the lead, yeah, the wants and desires, and then they have these crossroad signs. So this is interesting with that reference on the map there with the crossroads. I just thought it was a nice tie back, you know, and also we've got the crucifix type cross echoed in here, you know, this idea of balance, this idea of taking the correct path, all this stuff. So they constantly show that with different options through this video. I'm going to try not to really take too long on it. So anyway, what ends up happening is he seduces the pearl, and the pearl, there's a little bit of symbolism here during here. There's a bit of great, you know, a little bit of he does a little thing with his pocket watch and sort of hypnotizes her. Which is really self-hypnosis. It's really fooling yourself, you know, taking control of the divine feminine. Don't know if we really saw that. She's kind of fallen asleep there, and she's now in control. Now she's being controlled by basically the the black pearl. He's become the black pearl at this point, and he takes the heart, which is the balance point. The heart's always the balance point. You know, with the shot through the ear there with Donald, you know, if you were to cut both ears off and put them together, you'd get the heart shape, wouldn't you? And there's that shot through the ear, yeah. The idea of actually shooting back through the Vesica Pisces and being reborn. So it's an interesting thing with the idea of dying and resurrecting again. That's really what that ritual, I believe, was all about, was death and resurrection. Okay. Anyway, so there's a little heart thing that he takes. It's in his hand now. Actually, if I could just get on it, so he takes the heart, takes the balance point, stashed. Anyway, there's some bits and bobs that go on here. Her sort of following around like a lost puppy sort of thing, and here comes at that point with the heart gone. What we also see is what he ends up following is his wants and desires. The black pearl comes past, and he follows that. Still, there's a little bit of the spirit, you know, the sort of divine spiritual aspect nagging at him, you know, trying to pull him back, even though it's now become, really she's become the Black Pearl at this point. There's a little bit of dam symbolism, some more options. I'm really trying to go through this quickly just to get to the main point here. Okay. See, she's also following lust there. And at this point, you can see that he's become, while he's in control, he's become abusive to the divine feminine. See, she's trying to pull away from him. But what ends up happening is they do end up getting together, basically, and a new child is born. So he essentially goes in at this point. He's basically going into her, which is, remember, she's lost her heart. She's really the corrupted version, even though it looks good on the surface. And we have a little bit of a time reference here. And if you notice, the hour hands were at 2, and then the minutes were at, like, it looks like 53 to me. So we're at 2:53, which is important because this is the point right before this next scene. So 2:53 moving into 2:54, 254th day of the year is 9/11. Again, 9/11 is all to do with Pluto as well. And what we'll see at this point is there's the Black Pearl, and the Black Pearl is going to, the false ego here is going to basically cause the fall of the divine here. It's the corrupt version setting a trap, dropping a banana peel on the floor for the fall. Okay, and this is really, symbolizing the final takedown of balance here. Okay, and as you see the twin tower symbolism, we've got the 2 towers here, and down she falls. And notice the cane and pine reference up here. It's just, you can't, we got the idea of the cane, the false penis, the false cane, the false leg, the false support, the crutch, and then this is the matrix, and then the pine is the divine version of that. Okay, I don't know really. Really look at that as we want. We've even got a bit of a meteorite here, which could be the fallen star at that point. Could be referencing something flying through the air and hitting the twin towers. Could be, could be a number of things. Anyway, notice that that's a 218 reference there. I think round about 218 and 216, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. She's down. They're going to cart her off, and then she's going to be resurrected. But really, what's being resurrected is the resurrection is really the resurrection of still an unbalanced system. She's unbalanced at this point still. She doesn't have her heart back yet. Okay. Remember, this is our own, metaphysical that we're dealing with right there. So we've got double confusion. We're in complete confusion within the 9/11 reality now. Okay. Even the Black Pearl just came along and put the sign up truth here, steering people kind of in the wrong direction, maybe with a false truth. There's a whole bunch in here really to get through. What we're going to see here is this is the bed scene where she becomes now pregnant, where he goes into this thing. Okay, whatever it really is, the metaphysical, is it, the corrupted metaphysical, and then we're going to have the pregnancy and the birth attached. It's just right after the 9/11 thing, which is to me is the same thing. The birth is the birth into the matrix. Okay, 9/11 is that birth, but it's at the same time, it's really about the fall of balance. There she is, but I missed a little important spot there where they do reference her being the Black Pearl. Might have to just play a little bit of this, and you'll be able to hear the song just a touch. Get ready for it, and you'll recognize the song straight away, I'm sure of it. So when he takes the cover off of her, they're going to give you a little clue that they're the same thing. Okay, that, and it flips to that. Okay, so they're really the same thing at this point. Yeah, he's gone into the mate. He's in the mate. He's in the dam at this point. Okay. Anyway, at this point, there's some kind of truth drop here or something, because he's decided he's kind of had enough and is trying to get away. He's trying to run away, trying to get out of the 9/11 system here. Play through, click through a little bit. She's going to lasso him and pull him back. This is really himself pulling himself back. He doesn't want to let go. It's one of those things when you learn the truth. It's difficult though to come away from those addictions of the system, the wants and desires that have become now sort of necessities. You've become so addicted to those things, or same. I've become so addicted to those things. I know it's very difficult to give them up and get out of the system. Those things are pulling you back, constantly. Okay, and this is here's the rope, man on wire, and then that we see the first glimpse of the dam there. And at some point, he's going to break free of these wants and desires. Something's going to allow him to break free, and I think that's just a small part of the divine metaphysical. Now, when you want it hard enough, it will allow you to break free, but it comes at a cost, and it's a realization that really what you have to do is you have to have a self-sacrificing moment where you basically kill that false ego. That's the thing that has to be sacrificed, and at this point, what's going to happen is that realization comes. The mind here, the metaphysical, is going to realize what's going to happen, and the thing is released, and this is the sacrifice here, the fall of man. Okay, and essentially the dude is dead at this point, and along comes, and you can see the reflection here of the dead with what the dead is. It's this system, it's the Black Pearl. You see the face off there. Anyway, we have that right at the dam. Okay, we have the dam symbolism right in the background. Okay? Anyway, so the child, the new man that is born from this, notice what happens with the sacrifice here. The new man will leave with the rebalanced pearl. Okay, the rebalanced moon is leaving now. Okay, there's the heart, the reference to balance. Happiness is restored. Okay, and they're going to make their way to the finish line, or so it seems. Anyway, this is the bit where we're coming out of the dam. Here we show you this bit. So here comes the man being reborn. The other two have kind of been left in the dam, but that thing is the same as the other thing. They're both the same. This guy, this is actually the same guy that the start and stop guy is really that same guy. I think that's important, because this is really the dude that's set up in motion, and he wants to start over again. Look what he's calling back. Both of them again. He's like, I want both of that again, Anyway, knowledge is what leads to what. What's knowledge going to lead to in a second? Okay, here she comes. And what actually happens is, as they come back, he's trying to get them to come back to the finish line. He's put his arms out in the Christ pose again, because again, that dude's going to be sacrificed, because with knowledge independence. Being shown here. See, she's now that. Did you see the black pearl disappeared there? So with enough knowledge, you can overcome those wants and desires and the imbalance of the matrix. There's a lot of people out there that preach about, that complain about elites and them doing this and them doing that, yet we're all still in the system, flip the power switch on, turn a tap on, drive the cars around on the computer, watching the TV. We're all still in the matrix. There's only one individual that you can be 100% sure that can do the right thing. You can go on, I can go on preaching about, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and this is how you get out of the matrix. But that's not going to make anybody do it. I can't make anybody do it, The only person that I can make do it is myself. So there's a whole bunch of hard reality there with the idea of what's the right thing to do. I can bitch about the elites all I want, and yes, wrongdoing is quantifiable. How much time you extract from somebody else is quantifiable. How much wealth you take from them, how much you steal from somebody else. But I can't really change anything there. I can change what I do, though. The difference is actually doing the right thing yourself, because that's the only individual that can do the right thing. And God's got a plan for everybody in terms of individual awakening. I don't have me personally, I don't think it's my job really to try to awaken people to try and save the world. It's really about just doing the right thing, because at the end of the day, that's what counts. Individually doing the right thing. If everybody does that, then automatically there wouldn't be a system. If everybody lived by natural law, if everybody followed those rules, I could tell you the one thing that would change the world right now, would fix the world, and it's just one thing. It's so simple. All we have to do is exchange time equally. That's it. To solve all the problems in the world, just exchange time equally. Think about the impact of what that, if we did that, what that would do. Anyway, I'm getting off in the preachy mode now. Forgot where we were at here. But anyway, she's off, and we'll see the last two little clips here. We've got the double cross. Yeah, this eclipse reference, the 10:10 of the Odyssey being completed at this point. What else do you want us to say about it? And she's going to pass the signpost, independence. She's leaving fear behind. Independence. It's a really great video. And he's left. Interesting pose there. As above, so below. But anyway, he's kind of left, in his little, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that end part there. But anyway, that's leaving that cycle behind. That false cycle, leaving the false ego behind. Enlightenment. It's interesting concept, isn't it? I think that's it for the video, really. I just thought it was pretty awesome that it had the whole cycle, like the completion of the cycle in it, because, of course, I don't know if it's this year, but obviously, it possibly could be. We are still in that one palindromic number sort of state, which is the 32123 from the Hoover Dam through to 9/11 this year gone, 2023. So we haven't quite, even though the days have racked onto that, we haven't really. That was the last point at which we were at. We were at this sort of point of maybe rebalancing everything, you know. Anyway, I'm still thinking something big will happen on the 18th. Will it be the Hoover Dam going? I don't know. And even today, for instance, like 717 for Madonna, I had some interesting numbers. I had something interesting with that, and it wasn't just. There was a couple. There were like 717s was 119, which was interesting. But I had something else for that, and I can't remember what it was for Madonna. If I remember, I feel like I saw it a little while back. But anyway, if I remember, I'll put a video up for it. But anyway, I'm looking today, maybe even tomorrow for Madonna, maybe the Hoover Dam. I don't know. I just don't know. There's so many possibilities, and now with the Bowman character showing up, I'm thinking something may just happen. Something not quite as bad, and then we'll see Trump in with Bowman, and then maybe the 2028 date is the Hoover Dam, or maybe the Hoover Dam will be now, which will throw us into some kind of crazy 48 days of darkness. And what will happen is we won't see the end, like rebirth ritual, which, you know, something like, actually, now that Dave Bowman's involved, the Space Needle looks very promising for the idea of the arrow shooting through the eye. So that kind of on 4/9/2028, that kind of looks promising. Maybe that date for the Space Needle, and I don't know, maybe now for the dam. This idea of like rebirth, and then, you know, a time period of like proving that thing, or maybe it's all just going to happen now. Maybe it will just happen later. I don't know. All I know is that this symbolism is pretty darned interesting. Anyway, we got 9/11, the dam in there. We've got the cycle. It's got it all. Okay, Whitetown. Go check it out and watch it. Extremely interesting video. I'm sure I wanted to do a video on that donkeys ages ago, but I don't think I got around to it. Maybe I did mention some bits and bobs in there before, I don't know. Anyway, that's it, done. Cheers, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on another one soon. Cheers, bye.